Would astronauts survive spacesuit malfunction even if they had oxygen to breathe? The first immediate impact of spacesuit malfunction is loss of external pressure on the physical body. Once this happened, the fate of human beings would be no different than that of any other living beings. Firstly, no oxygen to breathe would cause hypoxia of brain in human beings in about 13 seconds. A NASA experiment at Johnson Space Center affirmed the same as early as 1965, and this observation remains unchanged. The central nervous system, involving the brain and the eyes in the first place, is particularly sensitive to oxygen deficiency. Low oxygen levels occasion not only shortness of breath, fatigue and nausea, but also cause impaired vision, judgment and ability to concentrate. The first 9 to 11 seconds is probably the only reaction time with some degree of consciousness, since after just about 13 seconds, the human brain actually gets impaired. The space or microgravity means absence of atmosphere and pressure. What if the astronauts had the oxygen to breathe in space but no means to maintain requisite pressure due to spacesuit malfunction or failure? The body swells as liquids in the cells and water in the circulatory system begin to vaporize. In about a minute, blood would no longer circulate. Gas and vapor would escape out of the airways at high pressure, freezing the exits, mouth, nose, ears, etc. The water in nose and tongue would almost begin to boil due to the lowered evaporation point in the absence of air pressure. So would be the case with water that lines the lungs. Lungs, which have an immediate impact on continuity of human life, are one of the most sensitive parts that respond disastrously to loss of usual pressure or decompression. Lungs are made up of complex airways and house a large volume of air, sudden expansion of which, due to the low pressures within and or the space vacuum, accords their lethal collapse, blocking the entire oxygen supply system in the first place itself. Anyone trying to retain breath to cater for forthcoming hypoxia would expedite the disaster, since he is likely to suffer airways collapse sooner besides running short of oxygen. If recompression occurred within about 60 to 90 seconds, the chances of revival are better if the person did not hold his or her breath, and survival would be possible with quicker recovery. Do we now know how important every element of life, such as the right atmosphere pressure, is? That we almost didn't even notice and took for granted.